And joining me now is Hakan Akbaş, who is a senior advisor at the Albright Stonebridge Group, and Barçın Yinaç, who is a journalist at the Hürriyet Daily News. Welcome to both of you. Let's talk money, let's talk politics. Barçın, I want to start with you. I want to get your understanding of the philosophy, political philosophy, especially in these election times of the AK Party. What does it say when a party like the AK Party puts Binali Yıldırım, a former prime minister, a former speaker of parliament, as a candidate for mayor for Turkey's most important province?
Well, it could tell us two things. The first thing is that maybe the governing party feels a little bit insecure in Istanbul. And that's only natural, I would find, because it's, AK Party has had tremendous success at the polls, nearly unmatched in the world. And usually parties staying so long in power, they tend to lose their votes. However, they don't want to risk it. Istanbul is very special for President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. So on the one hand, it can represent a feeling of insecurity. On the other hand, however, there is a systemic change in Turkey. It's a presidential system. The country is governed by the presidential system, and Binali Yıldırım is accepted as a rather successful transportation minister, a rather successful prime minister, and therefore the president wants to give the message to the residents of Istanbul that I'm bringing you over a name that has governed the country. Istanbul is so important for me that I'm bringing you a name which I have confided to govern the country. And a third maybe underlying message there is that, and the president keeps underlining that as well, he would want to give the message that there will be harmonious work between the mayor and the central government. And he wants to say that, well, I am in Ankara, and whenever the mayor will have to ask for something from Ankara, I will be there and we will have a harmonious working relationship.
Okay, Hakan Akbaş, let's get you in the conversation. Strictly looking at the numbers, Turkey is on the brink of a recession. We're going to find out in the next couple of months. The economy is at the top of voters' minds. How much will this weigh into the mindset and the decision-making process of the 57 million voters out there?
Look, it's always about the economy. Whether the polls are at the local level or the central level, that's the case. And yes, Turkey experienced in the fourth quarter of last year a negative growth area. But if you look at the macro picture of what happened last year, especially in the second half, that had largely to do with the spot that Turkey had with US and the crisis in August following the Pastor Brunson crisis. So, and on top of it, obviously, we had the Fed starting to tighten up, which basically started ringing the alarm bells for all the emerging markets, including Turkey. So, and on top of it, Turkey launched a new program to start rebalancing the economy away from domestic growth towards more exports and value-added manufacturing. And obviously, that is just in the beginning, and we have more ways to go. But I don't think, because this is the local elections, it will have some role, but I don't think it's going to be as material of an impact as that would have been in the general elections.
Okay, assuming that it is going to have an impact, my question to both of you, if it's all about the economy, Turkey has seen economic hardships in the past before. Why hasn't the opposition been able to capitalize on this then? Hakan?
Well, that is a great question to ask to the leaders of the opposition party. Even in this current sort of campaign season, it is very clear to see that really AK Party is sort of a campaigning, on its own, because as I look at the opposition parties, I'm not sure if they are in their best competition sort of forms. So from that perspective, I would say that in a way this would be against sort of asking for a mandate for the next 4 years, where we will not have a period of we will not have any elections coming up. So therefore, after these elections are over, then I think the government will be in a position to look for more bold reforms and look for ways to sort of stabilize the economy and put it back to growth.
Barcin, Hakan mentioned that the opposition was not at its top form. Why is it that the opposition can't seem to break that sort of proverbial glass ceiling? They're always stuck in this 20 to 30% range. I mean, is it because the Turkish voters are inherently sort of center-right than center-left? They have an inherent advantage there. Why can't they break that 30% ceiling?
Well, I think the opposition is in a constant state of soul-searching, especially in terms of the left-wing ideologies. This is something I think we also witness in Europe as well. The opposition, especially Republican People's Party, try to unite different tendencies, political tendencies, but at the end of the day, these different tendencies sometimes doesn't match. They don't come in a harmonious way. That is to say, they want to sort of unite all those who are not happy from the AKP, right? But all those who are not happy from the AKP do not share the same ideology. And in terms of the voters, I think, the voters, when they look to the opposition, they don't see an efficient leadership. They don't see vision. They sort of say, even if I'm not happy with the existing governing alliance, I look to the side and I'm not sure they would fare better, So it then becomes sort of a preference between the lesser of the sort of devil, in a metaphoric way.
But it's interesting that actually they have to go sort of search across on the other side of the political spectrum for this soul searching, and that sort of brings in the question of how viable is that sort of alliance with the E Party. All right, my last question to both of you is going to be political fatigue. Why hasn't the AK Party sort of had its case of political fatigue, and voters as well? And let's start with the markets with you. This is it's been going on since 2002, and this is a phenomenal case. And
exactly,
Barcin was actually referring to it being sort of like record-breaking in terms that as well.
Look, AK Party has been in power since 2002, and obviously, given the last sort of elections to change the country's political system into executive presidency, I think that's creates the opportunity after these local elections, to basically refresh the leadership at the cabinet level, refresh the value proposition of Turkey to foreign investors, to business community, to also perhaps look at the foreign policy vis-a-vis the US, the EU, as well as even the East, including China and Asian countries. So I think that if there's one thing that I want to give credit to the incumbent party, is that they've managed to reform themselves periodically. And I think even President Erdogan had acknowledged that several times. And I think that we will start seeing this over the next 4 years, where hopefully we will not have new polls.
Barcin, I have about a minute left. I want to get the last word to you. In terms of political fatigue, how has the party been able to sort of get over this?
They work a lot as well. They're very much organized, and one has to give credit to President Erdogan as well. I mean, he spends a lot of time. He doesn't. The problem is he doesn't show himself the fatigue. But I think the governing elites needs to be careful reading the election results, because there is fatigue still among the population. And we have to watch the figures in terms of the participation level, in terms of where the votes have gone. And so it will be very, very important to have a very healthy analysis of the result that will come out.
March 31st, that's when it'll all begin. Hakan Akbaş, Barcin İnanç, thank you very much for coming on to Straight Talk. I appreciate it.
Thank you.